Hello.
Hello.
I have 7 o'clock, so we're gonna get started. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this special meeting of the Municipal Council to order at 7:01. Mr. Withers, would you kindly read the notice and then do a roll call attendance?
Well, date September 21st, 2021, to members of the Municipal Council from Mark J. Cooper, President. Council is by authority of Article 2, Section 2-7C of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter. I hereby call a special meeting of the Municipal Council as follows. Date Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. Time 7 p.m. Place remote link zoom.usa. Purpose to discuss any legal matters before the council. Sincerely, Mark J. Cooper, President. CC Mayor Paul Haru. So for attendance, if you are here, please say here or present. Mr. Blair.
Here.
Ms. DeSimone.
Here.
Conti.
Present.
Mr. Waterman.
Present.
Vice President Jackson.
Here.
Mr. Delisio.
Here.
Mr. Kobus.
Here.
Ms. Dolan. Ms. Dolan.
I think she dropped off. She was having some technical problems. She might be coming back.
But she's here probably, right?
Well, we'll call her back when she comes back in, Steve.
Okay, Ms. Reynolds.
Here.
Ms. Holmes. I don't see her.
No, she's
President
absent.
Cooper.
Here.
So how do you want to call that?
9.
Nine present at the present time. Ms. Holmes is having difficulty and Ms. Holmes is absent.
Yep. Thank you. And would you kindly read we're going right into the public hearings this evening. Would you kindly read the notice for the public hearing this evening?
Certainly. This is a public hearing regarding an application to waive section 11-15.1 of the city ordinances to serve alcohol on city property from Morin's Inc., May to October, 7 days a week at 16 South Main Street.
Great, thank you. Is there anyone here to speak in favor?
Yes.
Mr. Moran, hello.
Hello. I'm not sure if you can see me or not. Is this so?
We can hear you, but we can't see.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well, hello, Mr. President, councilors. My name is Tom Moran. I'm here with my brother. Unfortunately, you can't see us for some reasons that I can't figure out, but we are.
Oh, we lost you. Oh,
I'm back.
There you are.
Nice. All right. So my name's Tom Moran. I'm here with my brother, John Moran, the owner of the restaurant. And we are here on behalf of Moran's seeking, we're looking for basically the three high top tables to serve alcohol on city property. And we were just hoping to answer any questions that you have, any concerns that you have with the application.
great, thank you. Does any of the council have any questions for the Morans? So I just have one. You're going to have the 3 tables out there from May to October every day. What hours do you plan to have them out there for?
In the application, I put in, we're going to have them out there by 10 in the morning, and we'll bring them in. Obviously, you can't leave them there overnight by 8 p.m. I don't think there's going to be much use for them after that. So we'll bring them in by 8 p.m. And then on Sunday, the restaurant closes anyway at 3 o'clock. So we're going to have them out there by 8 in the morning. And then I have it down. We're going to bring them in about 2 o'clock.
Okay, great. I just wanted you to say that publicly, and I don't see anybody else watching, but you never know who might be out there.
I understand.
Watching right now or watching one of the reruns. So thank you for that. Any additional questions for the Morans at this time? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Is
you.
there anyone else here to speak in favor? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone here neither for nor against? Seeing none, Councilor Dolan, do you see any reason to keep this public hearing open?
I do not.
Thank you. That public hearing is closed. And Mr. Withers, the record should reflect that Ms. Dolan joined right before the Morans came live in the feed. So
Believe it or not, President Cooper, I just changed my notes.
beautiful. Thank you. All right. And We are actually I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Roll call vote will begin with Counselor Blair,
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
President Cooper.
yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes. We are adjourned at 7:06 to the committee meetings.
Thank you. I'll see everyone next week.
Thank you, Steve.
Yep,
Thank you,
no
Steve.
problem. Yep, you're welcome.
Public Safety Emergency Management is canceled this evening. We have no business.
I would like to call the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee to order at 7:06. We have several items of business tonight. We have 3 people that are coming to meet with us who are being nominated by the administration to fill terms on councils and commissions. We have 1 person who is asked to be held in abeyance, I guess is the word. She'll decide down the road. It's not a good time for her at the moment. So from the docket of September 21st, 2021, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Karen Hammond, 76 Ashton Court, to fill an unexpired term on the Council on Aging, term to expire February 2022. And do I have a second? I see Karen's name.
Second.
Thank you. Karen, are you there? Down in the
There
lower
we
right.
go. Now I have control of my camera and my voice.
Good. And we all see you, I assume, at this point. How are you this evening?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Karen, before we have a motion on the floor for the appointment, but before we do any voting, would you share with us a little bit of your background, where you live to begin with, and how long, and your background?
Well, good evening, council members. I've lived in Attleboro since 2019. As you can tell from my accent, I'm originally a redcoat. I think that's the expression they used to call me in Kentucky. Anyway, I did live in Kentucky for the past 20 years. And my husband was relocated here for work. He's a chemist with Ashland Chemical, and we were relocated in 2019. I have lived in many places around the world, and wherever I've lived and worked, I have made it a conscientious part of my life to be a member of my community and to be involved with the local community. I want to make a positive difference in the lives of my neighbors, my friends, fellow citizens of Attleboro. Over the years, I've been very fortunate. I've served on a number of boards and councils and advisory panels, and as a volunteer with many varied organizations. And each opportunity has challenged me to use my skills and experience to make a difference in the lives of others. But since I moved to Attleboro, I've been volunteering with local organizations such as the Hebron Food Pantry, Empty Bowls, and even the Attleboro Farmers Market. And I've had an opportunity to really witness the issues that are affecting local seniors and their families. And when I became aware that there was an opportunity that I might be able to serve these seniors and my own age group in this community, I was really excited, and I'm very honored to have been nominated for this position. I've done some research. I realized that the aging population in Attleboro is growing and will continue to grow over the next 20 plus years, and is expected to gain several thousand more seniors, and their needs are going to be exponential. And subsequently, I think this is a really unique opportunity to contribute to the community's vision, one that promotes healthy aging where residents have dignity, security, purpose, which I believe is something that has been echoed by the report in 2020 by the Council on Aging and the Senior Center. So I believe my skills and experience that I've gained over my lifetime of work in community service will let me make a meaningful difference and effective contribution to the council. So I thank you again for the opportunity.
So would any of the committee members or counselors who are not on the committee like to ask?
Any
Yes.
questions?
Counselor Khan, please. Richard?
Thank you. Karen, have you been on any other council on agents in any other places around the world?
I haven't been on a council on aging. I have worked with everything from Special Olympics to sheltered workshops. I'm a judge appointed, court appointed at special advocate, a CASA, so I'm trained in court appointed advocacy. I've worked with education boards, Head Starts. I've been on symphony boards, art councils, you name it.
Karen,
But this is my first opportunity to work with an aging council. Yeah.
so Karen, has there has there been a business side to any of your volunteering?
A
Where
business
you've been,
I'm
you've done
a
like
business
strategic
owner.
planning?
Yes, I'm a business owner. I've been a business owner for the past 30 years. I've done business consulting. I've worked with startups. I have a small publishing company currently in Kentucky that I continue to run remotely. I've been fortunate to be able to do that. I have had it for 18 years and my staff know what they're doing, so I can work remotely from Attleboro and still run that. I've worked a lot as the vice president and president-elect of the Art Center, where I used to live in Paducah. We did a strategic plan. I have attended and run numerous large-scale events where planning was extremely important, including an art and music festival that continues to run and has done for the last 10 years. So I would say I have very good strategic planning and visioning skills.
Thank you, Karen. You're answering my questions. I feel like I got to know you much better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to Attleboro.
I like it here a lot.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Councilor DeSimone, you're next, and then Councilor Cobus.
Thank you, Council Waterman. Karen,
Hi.
yes. Hey, so excited looking at your resume. Fantastic.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
As a resident, as in addition to being counselor, I'm thrilled that someone with all of your experience and is going to be working on the Council of Aging. It's a fantastic group. There's a lot going on. The future ahead, as you know, the senior population is growing. There's a lot of work that can be done and needs to be done. And I think you'll fit in very well. And I'm super excited to see you joining them. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Councilor Cobus.
I apologize. I was just waving hello, but I'll say hello and welcome, Karen. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Councilor, Kate.
Counselor Kate, here I am. Hi, Karen, Kate Jackson.
Good evening.
Hi, thanks for being here this evening. Thank you for volunteering. We can't say enough about our volunteers that come into the community. And trust me, you're going to have a lot of fun working over there with our new director, Melissa Tucker. So welcome aboard.
Thank you. I had a wonderful conversation with Melissa prior to being my name being put forward to the mayor. And I have a meeting scheduled with her actually next week. I'm really excited to be working with her and to see what I can do to contribute to the vision and goals of the Senior Center and the Council on Aging.
That's great. She is quite lovely.
Yeah, it's interesting. I never considered myself a senior. And then I moved to Attleboro and I realized that I was, I'm 63. Terrifying. And suddenly now I'm a member of a senior population, and I have taken a much stronger interest in seniors since it dawned on me a couple of years ago that I could no longer say I was a spring chicken, so.
All the best to you.
Thank you, Di.
Is there anybody else who would like to? All right.
Happy to answer any questions on my background at all if anyone has any.
I think we're ready to vote. So I will speak to the committee. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So we have passed. I don't know if
Thank you.
Peter, are you able to?
Aye, I said
Oh.
aye. I'm not
I couldn't
muted.
hear you. That's fine. So thank you. The vote passes 3-0. Now, next week, we will present your name to the entire council and we'll go forward from there.
Okay.
So
Thank
thank
you,
you very
sir.
much.
Thank you
Good
very
night.
much, sir. Good
Okay.
evening.
Good evening. And also from the docket of September 21st, 2021, I would entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Robert, hope I'm saying this right, Capella, 300 Bishop Street, to fill an expired term on the Traffic Study Commission. Term to expire February of 2024. Do I have a second?
Second, Ty.
Thank you.
What was the name again, Ty?
Robert Capella, Kapala.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Robert, are you with us this evening?
He is not.
He is not.
Ian
Well-
Kingman is here tonight.
So I'm going to ask our committee, would you like to wait on Robert in 2 weeks so that he is with us?
I would, Ty. I think it's important they come before the council before we vote.
I agree with you. But I
Thank
wanna
you.
know your feelings. And so I am.
I remove my second.
I'm sorry, Sarah? Did I hear you?
I'm removing the second.
Thank you, and I remove the motion as a result. Thank you very much. Councilor Jackson.
Thank you. Council Waterman, might I perhaps recommend that you have a committee meeting next week if the gentleman can make it?
I will call him
Have it
and,
early, yes, and have it early before the general meeting.
all right. You will be notified if and when, what time, as soon as I get back to him. So let me ask before I make another motion. We have one more person I hope is with us tonight. Is Ann Kingman with us?
I am here.
I thought that was you, Ann. I
It
didn't
is me.
recognize you. Thank you for being on. Okay. I would like to introduce all of you to Ann. We'll hold off on the motion for a second. Ann, could you share with us part of your background, where you live first, how long you've lived in Attleboro, and then your background with us, please?
Of course. Thank you all for having me here tonight.
But one thing, Ann, she's up for the Cultural Council.
For the Cultural Council, yes.
ahead.
So I have lived in Attleboro for 27 years. My husband is born and bred, as is his father, and I married into Attleboro, so to speak. Raised two wonderful children, one who's in college and one who just graduated college and is now working as a kindergarten teacher. And I have spent most of my years raising my family and also working. I work for a large publishing company called Penguin Random House, which if you buy books, you've heard of them. And my job is to basically sell our books into independent bookstores throughout New England. So my job included a lot of travel, and then of course raising my children, which I could not do without the help of my husband, who owns a business here in Attleboro and is able to he was primary chauffeur and kid caretaker. So now that the kids are grown, and we had always spent our time taking advantage of all the cultural opportunities here in Attleboro. My kids took dance classes at local dance schools, participated in the Triborough Youth Theater. We attended plays at the Attleboro Community Theater, went to the museum, took great advantage. And I've always wanted to be involved, but I never really had the time. And so now I do. And I think we have a really vibrant arts community here in Attleboro. I think some of our gems are really hidden and not necessarily known by all of our constituents here in the city. I think that there's just so much to offer, and I really want to do my part to try to continue the wonderful work that our organizations here have done, possibly grow it. I think a strong arts community is the center of a strong community, period. I think it can increase business, it can increase tax revenue, it can increase visitors and tourism dollars, but also it can just make the city a really wonderful place to live and to be a member of the community. So that's why I put myself forward.
Oh, thank you. Is there anybody who would have any questions or comments? Thank you. Councilor DeSimone.
Yes, it's me again. Thank you, Council Waterman. And I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I like everything that you had to say about art. I think particularly now with all the stress and strain going on in our world, that art helps to elevate people and decompress and let them relax. So for all of those reasons and more, I congratulate you and wish you well. And I would like to put I would like to ask you, can we have as much outdoor art as possible all over the city? I want to see objects of creativity and beauty. So if you can make that happen, it would be absolutely fantastic.
You
So
know, those
thank you.
utility boxes are
Yes.
amazing that have just happened. It has been such a treat to see those as you walk by. I'm with
Yes.
you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Councilor Conti.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I served on the Cultural Council for a few years early in my career, and it's a great thing for you to get involved in, and I really like your enthusiasm for it. The Cultural Council has had a revolving door of people who come in and go out because it spends a large part of its year hibernating, and then when the state releases its funds, and we get just a little north of $20,000 a year. So many applications come in for the disbursement of those funds that the Cultural Council has to get together and come up with a decision on how to spend that $23,000. So I'm hoping, Ann, that you stick around, in spite of the fact that there's a big section of the year when everybody goes to sleep because there's nothing to do on the Cultural Council. Maybe you can change that. Maybe you can make it a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more year round. And I wish you a lot of luck, and I thank you for volunteering. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes my comments.
Wise comments.
Thank you.
Are we all set? Anybody else? Okay, well, I'm going to have the motion now. You can stay on if you'd like. And from the docket of September 21st, 2021, I would entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Ann Kingman, 6 Musket Road, to fill an expired term on the Cultural Council, term to expire February of 2024. Do I have a second?
Second.
In committee, thank you. And we're all set. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? None. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night. And that would conclude the business of the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee for this evening. I will call for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
And so we will I'll call a meeting in the next appropriate time. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Hello, I'd like to call Transportation and Traffic Committee to order at 7:24. I'm happy to have Councilors Conti and Reynolds here with me this evening. I have 3 items for discussion and a vote, hopefully. From the docket of October 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to approve the transfer of $32,187.78 from account 1124100-578300 citywide reserve fund for transfer for the following: $4,489.38 to account 1420100-585082 Public Works Crosswalk Systems, $27,698.40 to account 1420100-585083 Public Works Radar Sign Systems. These funds are to purchase 6 new solar-powered speed radar signs and 1 new solar-powered crosswalk sign.
Second.
Thank you. Pretty straightforward. I don't want to, does anybody have any questions or concerns? As you probably read in the mayor's request or the DPW's request, some of these are going to make pairs at certain locations where there's only the one sign. They're going to put the partner sign facing in the direction. And the crosswalk sign is going to be at Wall Street and South Main, because there's two there on the South Main side, but there's no light crossing across Wall Street. So all of these are very useful. I can tell you from my experience on traffic and on the Traffic Study Commission that the signs are having an impact. Residents like to see the signs. So I think this is an effective use of city funds. But does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns in the committee members? No? Councilor Delicio.
Thank you. So Chairperson DeSimone, I appreciate your comments. I have a slightly different vantage point of these. I'm not sure how effective they are. I'm not sure that there's any data or anything that backs up that they're effective. As I've been talking to certain people throughout the city where they're out in front of their house, their street, there's a semblance of a subset of the population that feels that there are drivers that use them kind of as a radar gun to see how fast they can go. Or for those that they'll see that it's there, so they'll start to slow down as they approach. As soon as they pass the sign, they speed back up again. So I'm just wondering if there's any sort of data that we can use to prove, because if they work, I'm all for it. And at first I was all for it. I'm not even against it now. I'm just questioning, do we know how effective they truly are? Because 32,000 for 6 signs, I just want to make sure that we have something tangible that shows that they are effective.
Understood, and your point is appreciated. I did ask Mike Tyler that question, and he only had anecdotal evidence, so I have no hard and fast evidence for you at this particular point in time. I just had a thought in mind. I can tell you, Councilor Delicio, that I agree with everything you said. I can't tell you, and maybe some of you heard the complaints about speeding all over the city. It's a huge issue. These are about one piece of the puzzle. Certainly, they're not merely enough. We have enforcement issues, which is why we hope to get the officers hired. I also have a couple other things in mind about maybe that we can do, but speeding is a significant issue, and I don't think these signs in and of themselves are going to resolve it. In terms of getting data, Councilor Delicio, I can ask the administration if they could figure out a way to obtain that. I don't know what that research might look like, but I do appreciate your point. I happen to think, though, that at least it makes people feel like this is, what's the word I'm looking for?
A deterrent.
It's a deterrent. It's an awareness, Councilor Delicio. I know when I see them as a driver, it reminds me like, oh, it's very easy to go over the speed limit. So I can only speak for myself, but if you would like me to follow up, I can make a request to see what kind of data maybe they can provide.
Yeah, and if I could just follow up, Councilor DeSimone, in that the comments I just made were from feedback from people who have them on their streets, notably Tiffany, where, and I agree, it is one piece of the puzzle, but I'd be remiss if I didn't raise the concerns that they raised to me.
Understood. I appreciate that. Thank you. Councilor Conti?
Yes, thank you. The last time the chief was in front of the committee, he said that he felt that the radar signs did work short term. That it reminded people, but they can be put up and they can be up there too long, and then they have no effect at all. In terms of the crosswalk systems, the crosswalk systems are fabulous. I mean, we have to be careful not to place them so that the blinking lights are flashing into people's bedroom windows. And I agree with Jay that, they can be a bit of a nuisance, but they're all over the city of Taunton, which I'm driving every day. And in my opinion, we're late to the game in this regard. And we just bought a few of them, and they're effective where the crosswalks have been installed. And I believe we have many more crosswalks where they could be used, because sometimes drivers just daydreaming forget that you're supposed to stop at a crosswalk. And these are wonderful reminders. So I do think that the radar sign systems can be put up too long. There's one that's been up on John Scott Boulevard in Norton for the last 2 months, and it's completely ineffective. Everybody, just as Jay said, they just notice how fast they're speeding every time they go by it, because I don't see anybody slowing down for it. So if there's studies, certainly I'm sure the chief will be able to provide them. And I do think that he wouldn't be looking for them if he didn't think that he could do something good with them. And they're damn expensive. So I'm happy to see us getting them. And I think that also part of it is, Council Delicio, is that some neighborhoods have a real problem with speeding, and this is one way that we can mitigate their complaints is by putting up a short-term radar sign just to appease them, to say that we're trying to do something until the traffic study, the traffic control unit gets installed and in place. Then maybe we won't need the radar signs. Who knows? But then that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Council Conti. And you also raise a good point. I wonder the degree to which these might be rotated so that they're not somewhere forever. I don't know if the administration has a plan for that. I don't know if it's even feasible, but perhaps if we have some in rotation, that may help to just, to mitigate the problem so they don't get stale. So that's another good point. So thank you. Councilor Kobus?
I did have a quick comment, and just with a quick search online, there's plenty of studies that talk about the effectiveness of these devices, and nationally how they are effective. They're not as effective, obviously, as physical sort of speeding deterrents, but they're effective, particularly in areas where there's a reduction in the speed limit, and the speed limit changes. It just notifies people become aware of it and slow down. But there is plenty of studies that have been done that proves that these are effective.
Thank you, Councilor Kobus. Councilor Delicio?
Thank you. Yeah, no, so Councilor Kobus, thank you for that. And I'm sure the data is out there. And again, I'm not necessarily against it, and I do want to stress though, when I'm talking about the radar signs, and I think Todd's right, from the research I've done, they're the most effective when you have going from a 40 to a 35 or a 25 area, which we have in some of our streets where you have these sharp decreases. I think that helps. As far as the crosswalks are concerned, I think that is one of the best things we can do for pedestrian safety. We're in a world now where people are walking a lot more. People like to walk. People don't stop in the crosswalks. I remember the chief would do the sting operations where he had civilians walking across the street in the crosswalks, and they'd be nabbing people. I just want to see what the effectiveness is with the radar signs. They're not hooked up to anything. There's no data being captured from them. There's nothing going back to the police station. I'm not advocating for cameras, speeding cameras. That's not something that I'm advocating for. But just what teeth does it have? What proof do we know that it truly does work? That's all I'm asking. And again, residents have raised their concerns to me, and it's usually the residents that have had these outside of their house who said it's not working. So I'd be remiss if I didn't raise their concerns.
Thank you, Jay. Council Waterman?
Yes, switching to the solar-powered crosswalk signs. I believe we have one on Holden Street, and I had the experience this summer of testing that out. And there were at least a half dozen cars that didn't even see the crosswalk, even though the lights were on. And then I noticed that we could use a paint job to supplement that. So I would suggest that we consider making those crosswalks a little bit more whiter, in addition to putting in the solar powered.
Thank you, Council Waterman. Oh, Council Clare. Yes, sir.
Just a quick comment. I tried to get your attention.
I'm sorry,
before.
Peter. My apologies.
It's all right. Maybe a quick call to the chief could stabilize this a little. What is his opinion? What's he looking for? We know this is sent down from the mayor's office, but did it come from the chief first, then down to us, or is this just another election time request?
Well, they've been going up for some time, Peter. So, I mean, these, as I said, some of these are going to be mates. But may I ask my committee members, would you like to hear from the chief before we vote this out of committee, or can we vote it out and get communication from the chief? Councilor Reynolds?
I'm fine leaving it as is. I think they're worthy of having them. It's just another addition to what we already have, and I think they're worth the money.
Thank you, Councilor Reynolds. Councilor Conti?
Agree with Councilor Reynolds.
Okay. All right, then I'd like to vote it out, and then I will follow up with the chief, and maybe either the chief or I can have some data or communication from the chief or Council Delicio. Oh, I'm sorry, Vice President Jackson.
Thank you, Council DeSimo. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. I do this like coming up Park Street and going down Wilmot Street. Sometimes it flashes at me and I'm going 33 and I'm only supposed to be going 30. I like the fact that it reminds me of that. I like the fact that when I go into Mansfield, they have them also. So I see more and more communities, so they must be working in some way or another. But what I'm really going to like is once we get our traffic unit up and running,
Yes.
and all these people have been seeing these signs forever and ever, and the traffic unit is there to say, hey, you travel down the street very often? Yes, boom, wazam, they got them. So I think it's going to work. I think it's a good thing in place for us. And it's it's answering the questions and the problems that constituents, the residents of Attleboro are saying, like, speeding is a big thing. So we're trying to do the best that we can to stop. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Vice President Jackson. Anybody else before I call for a vote? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, item number 2, from the docket of July 20th, 2021. I entertain a motion to amend Chapter 10-4.11 of the revised ordinances to add an official stop sign to face northbound drivers on Extension Street at Frank Mossberg Drive.
Second.
Okay, thank you. So as you may recall, when I introduced this has to do with Nova Farms, the abundance, about 300 employees from what I was told, parking on Frank Mossberg, and the steady stream of traffic. I was just up there recently. When customers go into Nova Farm, they come out Extension Street and just do a roll right on through to the right, back down. So some of the businesses up there, out of concern for their employees, and others as well, requested a stop sign at Extension Street just to slow the people down as they were exiting from Nova. So I don't know if you've been up there, but I think it makes perfect sense. Comments, questions? No? Good. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
No one's opposed. Thank you. Last, from the docket of July 20th, 2021, I entertain a motion to extend the no parking to corner area from 25 to 50 feet on southbound side of Frank Mossberg Drive at Extension Street.
Second.
Thank you very much. Related issue. One caveat. When I submitted this as new business, I went from 25 to 50. When it came up for discussion at the Traffic Study Commission and further consideration by the police department, they have requested that it in fact be extended to 100 feet. So I would ask for an amendment to move that no parking to corner, in fact, to 100 feet out from the corner per the police department.
I don't think that you can amend a motion as a chair, so I'll make a motion to amend.
Thank you.
That we extend the no parking to corner area from 25 feet to 100 feet on the southbound side of Frank Mossberg Drive at Extension Street. The motion requires a second.
Second. Thank you very much. Thank you, Council Conti. Perfect. Again, that came down from APD, and yeah, I think that makes sense again. Any further discussion on it? Okay, so I'd like to make a motion on the amendment to extend it to 50 feet. May take a vote, take a vote on the amendment. All those
Vote
in
on the
favor?
amendment would be to 100 feet.
Yes, thank you, Council Conti.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to take a vote on the motion to extend it from 50 to 100 feet. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. On the motion as a whole, I'd like to take a vote on the motion as a whole to move the sign. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. That concludes the business. Just a heads up, the Traffic Study Commission meets again on October 21st. We are planning to meet in person in council chambers, should anybody care to join. I would like to call to adjourn this meeting at 7:40, please.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you both very much. That concludes the business of transportation and traffic.
I'd like to call the Capital Improvement City Development Committee to order at 7:40. Sitting on this committee are Councilor Waterman and Councilor Dolan. I have just one matter to bring before you this evening. From the docket of October 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to transfer $7,500 from account 1124-1000-578-300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 161-101-000-530101, library professional services to repair a wall at the library.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Waterman. So I think you all saw the letter from from Amy Ringler to Mayor Paul Heroux that is part of a recent E-rate related work at the library. There was some damage to the wall, and the library's trust fund was going to contribute $2,000, and they were going to plan on applying for state need. But Jeremy offered, and the administration offered, to defray all the costs by funding $7,500 as a transfer. And this leaves the money for the trust and for the library to do good things with, do good other things with their money. So I looked to see just what this E-rate was all about. And it turns out the E-rate is a national program. It's a federal program that gives money to eligible institutions like schools and libraries who submit requests for this universal service administrative company to upgrade internet access, broadband enhancements, and all the upcoming digital demands that the library is facing. So they're getting funding to upgrade the technology. We just spent $38,000 buying new servers. This is just to keep the walls patched and looking nice while we update all that technology. I'm so looking forward to get into that library once we're able. Are there any questions about the motion? Councilor Cooper.
Richard, I'm not following. So maybe I missed something.
So let me try it again. They applied for E-rate funding, and the E-rate funding, what they applied for is to enhance the internet service. So they're running cables and they're putting in racks and a server room, and they're buying new servers, and they need to repair some walls. So it's prevailing wage. So, even the smallest little repair costs several $1,000s. They were going to pull $2,000 out of the trust fund, but instead, the administration is going to fund the entire $7,500 and let them keep their trust fund money for what they typically use it for, which is for library resources.
I get all that. So they dug outside and they messed up the wall because they ran these cables in.
Well, I couldn't get a hold of Amy, so I don't know exactly what the damage to the wall was.
So,
but there was damage to the wall and they want to repair it.
Okay. And this will be very unpopular, but I'm saying it anyway. We just spent millions of dollars over there.
On the outside.
Millions of dollars. They can't find $7,500 other than using trust fund money to figure out how to fix these walls. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time, and I know it's in the grand scheme of things, it's small potatoes, $7,500. To some people, that's a lot of money, and to me, it's a lot of money when we just spent millions of dollars rehabbing that building, windows, air conditioning, servers. The list goes on and on and on. We just spent 38 grand there a couple of weeks ago on servers. You can't find $7,500 in the millions that you just spent. I'm missing something here.
So, Counselor, I would say that the bond money, the big ticket for the exterior repairs are for exactly that, exterior repairs. I don't think that the auditor.
Richard, point of order. I get all that, but come on, all these things that have been under, and we've been moving money around to fund other things. I don't want to hear it. $7,500 to me is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. I agree with you. It's a lot of wall repair.
I'm not saying I'm not going to support it. I'm just saying it needs a better explanation than we need another $7,500. The well is running dry in my mind. 38 grand for the servers, millions for the repair, interior and exterior, windows and heating and ventilation. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm standing on a deserted island. It won't be the first time. It might be the last because we're winding down. But I'm standing on a deserted island here, over $7,500. I get it. But
Well,
enough already.
Counselor, to help you off that island, I promise you that between now and the council vote on this measure, I will have a interview with Amy Rillinger, and I will get into that building to see what the $7,500 is
you, Richard.
repairing.
Thank
And
you.
I
appreciate
promise
it.
you, I will have my phone with me and I'll take pictures, and there'll be a full explanation when this comes up in front of the council so that you won't feel like Robinson Crusoe, okay?
Thank you, Richard. I do appreciate that.
You're welcome. Councilor Delicio.
Thank you, Rick. You're not on an island, President Cooper. The one thing I would ask though, Rick, is when you're talking with Amy, who I think does a great job, can we just find out where and how, just get clarification on how the damage happened? Because if the damage happened by a contractor or a vendor, why are we paying for it? If I'm understanding some of what you were saying, so. Thank you.
I will be sure to get the full story, Counselor.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? I would like to vote this out of committee, and we can address it in greater detail when it comes up to the council. So I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously, and that concludes the business that the Capital Improvements and City Development Committee has this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion's in order. All in favor, say aye. Aye. I declare the committee adjourned at 7:47. Thank you.
I'd like to call the Public Works Committee to order at 7:47. I have one item of business to discuss with you from the docket of October 5th, 2021. I entertain a motion to transfer $88.95 from account 1420-1000-519130 Public Works licenses to account 142010000-578020 Public Works previous year's bills to reimburse an employee funds for fiscal year 21 hoisting license.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Dolan. So this is a contractual issue. It's a requirement for the employee's job description, and the city is to reimburse him once he gets reinstated with his license again. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That concludes the business for this evening for the Public Works Committee. I would ask for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:48. Thank you.
I would like to call budget appropriations to order at 7:49. I have three quick motions tonight from the docket of October 5th, 2021. There'll be a public hearing on Tuesday, October 19th for the purpose of setting the tax rate for class. So I'd like to call for a public hearing on Tuesday, October 19th.
Point of order, Mr. Delicio. I can see both of Councilor Kovas's hands, so I don't think he's taking notes for you, sir.
I will. I got it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Appreciate that. So as I was, I move to request that we hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, for the purpose of setting the tax rate, tax classification for fiscal 22.
Second.
Thank you, Todd. We do this annually, but this is to ensure that we have enough time to prepare, mail the third quarter real estate tax bills by December 31st. I would just, Councilor Conti.
Yes, Counselor, I just want to say this is really, really big. To be able to have the public hearing on October 5th is huge. This is the result of the assessing department in the city of Attleboro being very efficient in a revaluation year to move that schedule up to make sure that we've got the growth certified by November 1st, that we can get everything done by December 10th and get the bills out on time. I'm sure that Julie is working to get that date earlier and earlier and early each year, as I am in Taunton. And because we could do it as early as June, and it would take all the pressure off of the accounting department and the vendor who has to mail out the bills. So I just want to say kudos for the public hearing being on the 5th of October. And I'm sure that we'll be doing this earlier and earlier as the years pass by. It's good work. Good work. And that concludes my comments.
Yeah, a couple things. So thanks, Rick, for that comment. The public hearing's being called for the 19th, not the 5th.
Okay.
Yep, but I think what that does is it buys us enough time where we can, if we start from the 31st, work backwards to where those third quarter real estate bills have to get out, gives us plenty of time. I think Deb and Julie Hobson, the assessor, have done a really nice job, not just of getting the information in terms of setting the date and whatnot, but getting us information, just kind of, hey, just so you guys are aware of this, because this is very complex. And to be quite honest, friends, this is probably the most important thing that we do as a body each year, this and the budget. So I think when we look at, there's probably going to be a couple special meetings, or at least one special meeting called here and there. There's going to be a couple committee meetings, because I want to make sure that coming out of the pandemic, we fully have an understanding of what it means. And this is very convoluted. I will be looking to see if Julie and Deb can join us in October, probably the committee meeting following the public hearing, just to be able to answer any questions we have. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. From the docket of October 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to transfer $24,187.76 from account 6000-578300 wastewater enterprise fund reserve fund for transfer to account 6000-578020 wastewater enterprise fund previous year bills to pay fiscal 21 invoice to North Attleboro Sewer.
Second.
Thank you, Todd. This was recently received, and as we've been doing, when bills come in past June 30th, we have to authorize payment. We're not authorizing, we are, in this one, we're authorizing the transfer for the payment, but again, these are for services already encumbered, which the bill for the services already rendered have come in after the June 30th cutoff for the fiscal year. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Finally, from the docket of October 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to authorize the school department to pay school bills totaling $10,968.32 from fiscal 21 as identified in Mr. Furtado's communication.
Second.
Thank you, Todd. Again, fiscal obligations that were received after 6/30/21. We have the approval from the school committee in the scan notes, which is there saying that this is something we should approve. I have copies of the invoices if anyone needs to see them. Again, unlike the last motion, this is just us authorizing the school department to pay bills. And again, these are obligations. These are services that have already been encumbered. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. And I would like to call for an adjournment at 7:54.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:54. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to call the Zoning and Land Use Committee to order at 7:55. Councilor Delicio, do you mind taking notes?
Not at all.
Excellent. Thank you. We just have one matter tonight, and let me scroll down here. For the docket of July 20th, 2021, I entertain a motion to approve the rezoning petition from Vela Inc. for 829 Newport Avenue, Assessors Plat 19, lots 246 to 252, and lots 254 to 255 to change the zoning from single residence A to general business.
Second.
Motion's in order. So it's a rezoning petition. We had the public hearing on the 17th and nobody came in to speak against this matter. The planning board has voted on this. What was the date on that? just recently. So the public hearing was on August 17th, and the planning board met 2 weeks ago, I want to say, but they voted unanimously 6-0 on September 17th. And the certificate vote reads, this is to certify that at the planning board meeting held on Monday, September 13th, the planning board voted in favor, 6 yeas, 0 abstention, 2 absent, to recommend that the municipal council approve the petition of Vela Inc. to rezone property located at 829 Newport Avenue, more specifically assessors lots that we had already read, from single residence A to general business. The planning board is of the opinion that rezoning the property to general business would not constitute spot zoning, would be consistent with the comprehensive plan. It would be consistent with the character of the surrounding area. So with that said, I encourage the committee to support this and vote it out. Any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That concludes the business for zoning and land use. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Point of order, you're not doing Nichols.
The public hearing's still open and was continued
Oh, that's
to,
right.
no,
That's
the
right.
public hearing was continued.
Okay. I was hoping to-
Yep.
Okay.
November, early November, I believe is
9th,
what it was. Yeah,
9th, I think it is. Thank you.
sure. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:57.
I'd like to call License Committee to order at 7:57. I have one motion this evening. From the docket of September 21st, 2021, I entertain a motion to approve the application to waive section 11-15.1 to serve alcoholic beverages on city property from Morin's Inc., May through October at 16 South Main Street.
Second.
Thank you. So we just closed the public hearing tonight. Does anybody have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes, and that's all the business I have this evening, and I would like to call for an adjournment at 7:58.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call to order City Property and Claims Committee at 7:58. I have one thing on the docket this evening. From the docket of October 5th, 2021, I entertain a motion to transfer $3,725 from account 112410000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 116-11000-558330 clerk-copier to replace the clerk's office copier that has reached the end of its useful life.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but does anyone have any concerns or questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, thank you. So that motion passes, and there's all the business the City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. I am going to call for an adjournment at 7:59.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:59.
Thank you. And ordinance elections and legislative matters is canceled this evening. And I think
It's a wrap, right?
The wrap.
that's a wrap. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Everybody.